She had always been the kind of person who brushed things off to easily warnings instincts. Even danger itself, nothing ever stuck to Julia for long. Advice rolled off her like raindrops down glass, barely acknowledged before disappearing. Altogether, her laugh was always a little too confident, her steps too sure, and her curiosity too sharp for her own good. We'd been friends since college. She was brilliant, magnetic, the type of person who made every room feel smaller because everyone wanted to be near her. But that hunger to know, to uncover, to step where others wouldn't, that came with a price. And this time, I had a feeling it would cost her more than she could afford. It all started with the house at the end of Willow Creek. The locals never said its name out loud, just called it that place. Or the one past the bend. It had been abandoned, longer than we'd been alive, sinking slowly into itself like it knew it didn't belong in the world of the living. Everyone in town had a story about it: cold spots in the summer, flickering lights when no one's inside, shadows moving across the upstairs windows even though the place had no electricity. I never believed in that sort of thing, not really. But even I couldn't shake the feeling that the house didn't just sit there, it watched. When Julia heard about it, her eyes lit up like a struck match. She was deep into producing a new episode for her paranormal podcast and thought it would make the perfect finale. "I'm telling you, don't go in there," I warned her, the words tight in my chest. "There's something wrong with that place. People change after going in. They don't come out the same." She laughed, casual and bright, brushing her red hair behind one ear, like she always did when she thought I was overreacting. "Come on, Ryan. You know I don't scare easy. It's just an old house. I'll be in and out in an hour." But I wasn't joking. My stomach twisted when she spoke, and for the first time, I truly felt afraid for her. "Please," I said, "just skip this one. Leave it alone." She didn't. That night, around 11 p.m., she packed up her audio recorder, her camera, a flashlight, and some extra batteries. I stood in the driveway and watched her taillights fade into the black ribbon of the road, and every part of me screamed to follow her. But I didn't. I don't know why. Maybe I was afraid of what I'd see if I did. At 12:15 a.m., I got a text. "It's colder than I expected. Might be nothing. I'll update soon." That was the last thing I ever heard from her. I didn't sleep. I sat on my bed, phone clutched in my hand, refreshing the screen like maybe she'd appear if I just looked hard enough. By sunrise, I was already halfway to the house. Her car was parked in front, silent and still. The windows were fogged from the inside. I knocked gently, no response. I pulled the door open and found her there, curled in the driver's seat, knees to her chest, eyes fixed and empty, staring at the steering wheel like it was going to speak. Her skin was ghost pale. Her lips trembled, but no sound came out. "Julia," I said softly, reaching for her shoulder. The moment I touched her, she flinched violently, like I'd poured ice down her spine. Her mouth opened. Nothing, just a dry gasp. She tried again, panic flashing in her eyes, but the sound never came. Her voice was gone. I rushed her to the hospital. They ran test after test, blood work, MRIs, neurological scans. Nothing was physically wrong, no damage, no trauma they could explain. "It's psychological," they told me, "possibly dissociative, mutism, some kind of severe emotional shock." But I knew better. I didn't know what she saw in that house, but I knew it wasn't just fear. Something had taken her voice, had reached deep enough to snap something inside her. It's been 3 weeks since that night. Julia hasn't spoken a single word. She sits in her room, rocking sometimes, staring at corners like they're whispering to her. She flinches at every creak of wood, every gust of wind that slides through. The window cracks. Her parents are heartbroken. They don't know how to reach her. Neither do I, but I go see her every day, hoping, praying that the girl I knew is still in there somewhere. A few days ago, I went back to the house. Not inside, I couldn't. I parked across the street and just stood there, staring at it. The air felt wrong, heavy, like it pressed against your skin. The wind was sharp, colder than it should have been, and I could feel eyes on me. Though the street was empty, I lifted my phone and took a picture. When I got home and opened it, the screen was pitch black. No house, no sky, no trees, just black. Like the house refused to be captured. Julia's gear was retrieved from her backpack. Her recorder? Static, nothing but hissing, interrupted by faint whisper-like sounds that almost made words, but never quite did. Her camera footage was worse, images flickering, frames glitching, shadows that danced behind her even though she was completely alone. I watched one clip in which she gasped and spun around. There was nothing there, but her shadow stretched toward the wall and it moved before she did. People tell me I'm imagining things, that trauma rewires the brain, that my fear is feeding into hers. Maybe that's true. Maybe I'm just letting panic consume me. But lately, at night, I've started to hear whispers. They come just as I'm about to fall asleep. Low, indistinct, like someone speaking just beyond the door. I've started sleeping with the lights on. When I close my eyes, I see her, Julia, standing in that house, surrounded by darkness. She's pointing at something behind her. Her mouth moves, trying to warn me, to scream. But no sound ever comes. I'm afraid it's not just her anymore. That thing, whatever it is, left its mark on her. And now, it's reaching for me.